In today's Metro Weekly podcast, we have a couple of stories about Elon Musk and his social media site, X.com. First, Elon Musk melts down over California's new pro-trans law. And then, X accused of suspending hundreds of LGBTQ profiles. You can also read these posts and similar news stories at metroweekly.com.
We begin today with Elon Musk, the CEO of spacecraft manufacturer SpaceX, announced that he plans to relocate both companies from California to Texas in response to recent pro-transgender legislation. By John Riley on July 19, 2024. The law that prompted Musk's tantrum, signed by Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat of California, on July 15 and scheduled to take effect in January, prevents school officials and teachers from outing students who identify as transgender or non-binary to their parents. This is the final straw, Musk wrote on X, which he also owns. Because of this law and the many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies, SpaceX will now move its HQ from Hawthorne, California, to Starbase, Texas. Musk later added that X's headquarters would move from San Francisco to Austin, although he did not cite the transgender outing prohibition. Instead, he appeared to refer to crime and homelessness as the motivating factors in that case. And X HQ will move to Austin, he added. Have had enough of dodging gangs of violent drug addicts just to get in and out of the building. Musk's tweets read like a litany of oft-vocalized Republican grievances against liberal governance and various societal ills, which is not surprising, given his support for former President Donald Trump, his opposition to so-called wokeness and political correctness in favor of free speech, at least for conservative users, and the venom he regularly spouts toward transgender individuals. Some have speculated that Musk's opposition to the law may be personal. In 2022, People magazine reported that his then 18-year-old daughter was granted permission to change gender, taking on the name Vivian Jenna Wilson, with her surname being the maiden name of her mother, Justine Wilson. When asked about his estrangement from his transgendered daughter in an interview with the Financial Times, Musk responded, "Can't win them all," and claimed to have good relationships with his other children. In that interview, he also blamed his estrangement from his daughter on indoctrination by neo-Marxist educational institutions. It's full-on communism. And a general sentiment that if you're rich, you're evil, he said. Some pro-trans advocates have speculated Musk may see himself in, and sympathize with, parents who do not wish to affirm their children's gender identity, viewing the prohibition on outing as an intrusion into the parent-child relationship, or even taking a side in the culture wars by encouraging children to pursue social transition. But Ryan Coogan, an editor of the United Kingdom newspaper The Independent, speculated in a column that Musk's decision to relocate is not actually based on his opposition to the ban on forced outings, although claiming that it is placed to people with ideological beliefs similar to Musk's own. Musk's preoccupation with transgender issues is well documented, Coogan wrote, listing various times that the ex-owner expressed opposition to transgender visibility or shared transphobic content. However, Musk isn't the only business owner to flee California in recent months. The state's higher taxes and minimum wage laws have caused several businesses to seek greener pastures in recent months, including Neutrogena, Quick Fee, Oakview Group, Unical Aviation, and Blaze Pizza. Once a haven for tech and business innovation, bills introduced by Newsom have resulted in an exodus for a number of industries, with many moving to Texas, where business regulations are significantly laxer, Coogan wrote. He also noted that The Independent previously reported that Musk had been seeking to sublease X's San Francisco headquarters, an indication that the move to Texas had been planned long before Newsom signed the transgender bill into law. Musk, who is also the CEO of Tesla, moved the automaker's corporate headquarters from California to Texas in 2021, ostensibly in response to the state's lockdowns during the COVID pandemic. However, Musk maintained the company's Palo Alto office as an engineering headquarters. Regardless of the reason, the departure of businesses as big as those owned by Musk will be a blow to the California economy, Coogan wrote. It's another indication that the state's liberal idealism is struggling to accommodate industry's desire for more right-leaning economic policies such as deregulation and tax breaks, and a further indication that the tide is turning for America's blue states. Nevertheless, it seems to me that Musk's willingness to blame the move on legislation intended to protect transgender children is a cynical abuse of his wealth to push for increasingly radical social changes that favor the right, Coogan continued. The fact that Musk would use his influence to throw a tantrum to try and discredit such legislation is pathetic and, in my eyes, shows us exactly what kind of person he is.
Next, we have Pink Media claims X suspended over 250 of its LGBTQ specific accounts, prompting speculation about whether they were targeted. The social media marketing agency Pink Media claims it has been banned on X. As of July 4, more than 250 of its accounts had been permanently suspended. The reason, however, remains unclear. Matt Scalarud, the president of Pink Media, told Palm Springs ABC affiliate Kesk that the company's several dozen accounts on X, including members of its #ILoveGay network, were all taken down at the same time without warning. I got this flood of emails from my followers, and I'm like, what is happening? At the end of the day, we still don't exactly know what's going on, he said. In a July 9 post on Pink Media's website, Scalarud wrote that the mass suspension was due to what X claimed was a user report that claimed the accounts had broken one of the X rules. Which rule we may have violated remains a mystery, but 5 days later, we are still down with no hopes of having our X profiles reinstated, he wrote. Brad Four, CEO of radio station KGAY and the Gay Desert Guide, reportedly received a message from X telling him that several accounts he ran, including accounts dedicated to promoting LGBTQ spaces in the Coachella Valley and promoting the area as a potential attraction for tourists, had been permanently banned. Our digital marketing agency Oasis Marketing Group, OMG-PSP, that one was suspended, Four told Kesk. And then we noticed, of course, that the I Love Gay Palm Springs account was also suspended, in addition to Gay Desert Guide. So in one fell swoop, those three that we rely on heavily here had all been taken down. Other accounts that were allegedly taken down include Alan Beck's Fun Maps and Visit Britain's Gay Britain account. Scalarud said that Pink Media had always kept it not only very positive, but very clean, avoiding adult content or anything that was objectionable. We couldn't help but to think maybe it was just because we had too much visibility, he told Kesk. In June, and it was Pride Month, and maybe it annoyed someone somewhere along the way that it didn't like LGBTQ content like that being amplified in that way. Although Scalarud has appealed the suspensions of about 75 accounts, he hasn't heard back from X about the possibility of getting them restored. From a business angle, we were hesitant to report this and put out a statement, in hopes that we would be able to recover our 250-plus profiles on X from what they are calling a permanent suspension, he wrote in his statement. What is interesting is that all of our profiles, including ones that were more business-focused and not part of the I Love Gay network, and a few profiles that hadn't been used in years, all became suspended at the same moment, which can only really be done internally by X. It's suggesting that someone inside X had done their homework and that this was a well-researched and well-prepared takedown of a network of LGBTQ plus X profiles that had well over 1 million followers worldwide. Scalarud defended Pink Media's decision to remain on X even after CEO Elon Musk's takeover of the company formerly known as Twitter, which reportedly led to a deluge of hate against LGBTQ users. Several anti-LGBTQ accounts that had previously been banned on the platform were restored, and Musk temporarily lifted a long-time policy on deadnaming or misgendering other users. Musk also previously vowed to ban the word cis on the platform, claiming that the word cisgender is a slur against people whose gender identity matches their assigned sex at birth. According to Scalarud, Pink Media stayed on the platform because it was reaching an LGBTQ+ audience around the world that could not be reached with the same impact on Facebook, Instagram, Threads or TikTok. Because no reason for the suspensions has been given, the company can only speculate. Whatever the reason for the suspensions, Scalarud wrote that we were shut down in a way that does not feel random and was certainly not the byproduct of simply a user-generated complaint about violating X rules. This was a targeted and deliberate shutdown from inside of X, of a network of LGBTQ+ profiles that had become a major part of unifying and amplifying LGBTQ+ voices across the US and around the world, he wrote. Of course, we're hopeful that our I Love Gay network on X can be restored so that we can continue to help elevate and amplify LGBTQ+ voices yet again, Scalarud concluded. However, we realize that during this divisive and politically charged year, we may have gotten too good in our reach and exposure on a platform that is owned by an individual who has made clear he would like to suppress these same LGBTQ+ voices. It might also be time to accept the fact that in this era of emboldened autocrats and big tech kings, we'll have to be even more creative in how we continue keep our voices alive and at the forefront now and over the next few years. Thanks for listening. Please, like, share, subscribe, or follow in the app you are using now, and visit metroweekly.com for more posts like this.